Hi everyone, welcome to the fourth time I tried to film this video. Today we're going to be making a really cute set of Valentine's Day nails. I think they came out really cute. These are, the nails that I'm using today are the Apres long natural square nails, full cover tips. And I mentioned that I've filmed this, I've tried to do this 4 times because as you can see, there are a couple of nails that may or may not have already been started on. But just to catch you up, I buffed these nails. They have a base coat, a clear base coat on them. And then I had already started the middle and the ring finger nails. So these two, it's just 2 coats of red nail gel polish. This one is the Madam Glam, the Perfect Red, and it's fantastic. I really, really like this shade of red. So, I mean, I think this is going to be my last time asking my viewers if you want to see me buff and put a base coat, a clear base coat on the nails. I personally don't think that's necessary, but I'm not going to ask every single video. I'll just ask and see if anybody cares about that. And you know, sorry, I already painted the 2 coats of red, but honestly, if you need instructions on how to put a clear coat of polish and buff a nail, I think you might be in the wrong place. Anyway, let's get going. So this one already has, actually they both already have a clear coat on them, the top coat. And so this one is just going to need a bow. I'm going to put this one to the side and leave that towards the end. And this one needs the stickers and the glitter top coat. So let's save those towards maybe the middle or the end. I want to get into this middle finger. So the middle finger has a clear top part and the bottom half has red. And we're going to pick out some of these cute little hearts to put on the nail. I think this one came out the best. I love this kind of glassy nail. So let's get started on that one. We need to, I even got my cute little nail stand out for Valentine's Day. Isn't she cute? Okay, so we need to put red on the bottom half of this nail. I'll go ahead and start that out. And then we will kind of ombre it towards the top. So I'm just gonna go about here maybe. It's not important to be precise with this. You're going to have some little hearts covering it, and so that's not necessary. But from here, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I kind of just did, if I look at the back, I just did a halfway point. I didn't really ombre it. That's what I thought I was going to do, but I ended up just going with doing half the nail. So let's skip that ombre talk that I just scratch all that, everything I just said about the ombre, and let me just bring it in a little bit closer towards the middle. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and cure that. Like I said, doesn't have to be precise. Ooh, and I missed some spots on the side. Good thing I checked. Doesn't have to be precise. We're just kind of getting it towards the center. We don't need to be exactly straight on there. So we got half the nail covered. I am gonna go in and cure that because I wanna put another coat on top of that between the glitter, the little hearts, and the red coat. So I'm gonna close this guy up for a little bit. We don't need him for a while. And let's get into these 2 nails while that nail is curing. So okay, I have a bad habit of doing this, and let this be a lesson for you guys too. If you are somebody that makes press-on nails, you really want to, every time you do a set, you really want to write down the products that you're doing. So if you do a set for a customer, if you're keeping books on everything, write down the products that you use, the polish colors, everything that you use, the type of tips. I mean, if you have more than one type, then whatever helps you identify, so that if somebody sees your work in the future, maybe on Instagram or whatever, then you'll know exactly how to recreate that. I know that, and yet I still have a bad habit of not writing everything down. So don't be like me. All right, I have a ton of, well, this isn't all of them, but these are these are my Rargism polishes. And I really, really love them for my pinks and nude base coats. I have a ton of their colors. Let me just take a minute to show you all their colors. not affiliated or anything. I'm just showing you how the good range that they have, you know, for your base colors. Gosh, why am I struggling to get this? Well, here, let me just show you a few at a time and then I'll move it around. Those aren't really base colors. These are more opaque, but here, we'll do 4 at a time there. I keep them swatched so that I can, when I'm thinking about doing a set, I can just go look at these and see what I want to do. So, like I said, I did not write down which one I used. I did my best and, you know, put this next to the other colors too. Hopefully that's the one I used. But let me give you a little tip. Okay, so this, ooh, girl. Let's, excuse me. Let's put this one aside and we're working on these two. So basically I'm just letting you know we're working on that light pink base for those two. What I do to get my, I mean, these are not that expensive, but these are a good $6 to $7, so probably somewhere in the middle. And I really try to preserve and try to, you know, not use as much as I have to. But listen, there's tons of, this one was probably $10. So it's not like I'm, you know, trying to be stingy or anything. But what makes my nudes go a little bit further is, you know, you're going to put 2 coats of the base on. So what I usually do is I take a Milky White. This is just from Temu. This isn't anything special. It's actually finishing up. So this is a more inexpensive Milky White. I definitely have some really good Korean ones, which to me make the best Milky White polishes, meaning like you don't need 3 layers or 3 coats to get that look that you're going for. But what am I trying to say? Yeah, so what I do is I put 1 coat of a Milky White under my pink nudes, just so I don't use up, you know, all the, see, this one's emptying out, but I got 2 more of these because I'm a lunatic and I buy way too many polishes. But I do go through Milky White a lot. So, hey, maybe I should just finish up what I'm saying and stop interrupting myself. So what I do is I put the first coat, so instead of 2 coats of the Ragism, I would put 1 Milky White and then that coat, the pink base on top of that. And that usually works out really well. It's not entirely transparent and I didn't have to use, as much of this one. So it might be a really cheap thing to do. I don't care. That's what I do. If you don't like it, don't do it. I don't lose sleep over it. So anyway, those 2 are in the lamp. What's next? Oh, this one. So I'm going to go back and take this product. This is from Connie. It's a reinforcement gel. It's basically just like a really thick base coat. It's super, super thick. And I use this to like adhere a glitter or whatever to a nail if I'm trying. And this you can do, it's no precision is needed for this. I'm just going to place this kind of all over. If you don't get it all over, that's okay because you're not putting sequins, or I'm not putting them all over this nail anyway. So it's like, it can be used for a lot of things. It can be used to reinforce a natural nail, like make it stronger. It can be used as, whoa, stay in the frame. It can be used as a base, a thick base. It can be used for a ton of things. Anyway, so I'm gonna cure this for 30 seconds though. Or am I? No, that's not true. I gotta take that out of the lamp. I'm not gonna cure this. So now that I put that reinforcement gel, I'm gonna go straight in with those little glitters, but not before I go and put the second coat. And the reason I'm moving on from one nail and coming back to the other is time. And to go back to what I said in the beginning of the video, if I start the video with already buffing the nail and putting the base coat on, I feel like I've, saved you a little time. If you watch a lot of these videos, then you know we're all gonna do the same thing. You buff a nail and you put base coat on it. My goal is to have a really concise video for you so that we get to the point, we do what we want to in as little time as possible. So yeah. Some of my videos are longer, some of them are shorter, but I'm really just trying to show you guys what I did in this video and, you know, not make it so drawn out for you. And yeah, your feedback is, I value your feedback. If it's good or bad, I have thick skin. You can say whatever you want to me about the nails, about my videos. I guarantee you I take everything in. I listen to everything. Okay, so let's go back to this guy while that one's in the lamp. And I'm going to close this one up. By the way, this is, I'm going to put all the products in the description box as I usually do, but this is number 149 from Vargism. These I bought specifically for Valentine's Day. I just hauled them recently. And what we're going to use is these hearts. Let's see. Are we going to use the big ones? No. We're going to use the two on the end. So these are the ones that have a little heart in the middle cut out. And these are just the regular red hearts. And in addition to that, we're going to use this silver kind of holographic or whatever. I don't know how you call this. This silver little heart. So we're going to do a combination of all three of those. My friends are done. And what I'm going to do is grab a little dotting tool and keep my paper towel close by. It doesn't need to be exactly like this. I know which hearts I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and put them on. I don't want it to look exactly like that. So I'm not going to bother trying to use it as a guide in that respect. But what I am going to do is get a little palette out. I'm going to put a little bit of some base coat. This is just the Gaoi. I don't know how to pronounce that. That one's a tough one for me. So I'll just get a little base coat out. I take my dotting tool, and this is how I grab my hearts. So I'm going to open one at a time. I have a bad habit of spilling things, and I do not want that to happen to me today. All right, so the hearts, I definitely do want to pay attention to which direction the hearts are going. So if the nail was on me, the hearts would be facing the person that's looking at the hand, or rather if it goes down like this, they're looking at me. So I got to make sure they're all going in the same direction. So I'm going to go in like this with the nail to make sure, to make sure that it's going in the right direction. So I'm just going to go grab a couple of these hearts and put them on. Do you guys celebrate Valentine's Day if you're in a relationship or not? Do you just say, you know, screw it, or you feel like you have Valentine's Day every day? Tell me what you guys do, or do you have a tradition? That would be interesting, right? Do you have a tradition that you do for Valentine's Day? I'll come back to that one. I'm not somebody that feels like Valentine's Day is a big deal. So my husband and I don't really do anything. I guess when we were dating we did, but it was just to go out to a restaurant. That's what we did. It's just not a big deal for me. I don't find it. My husband is a great husband. I don't feel the need to, you know, make sure he gets me a gift, and he gets me gifts during the year. So I don't need to go crazy with that kind of stuff. One thing I do want to note is that it goes to about 2/3 of, let's get this better for you to see. The hearts are going about 2/3 the way up. Okay. So as I go back into, let me go into these silver ones and get these on here and try to make sure I have a nice variety of all these cute little hearts on here. These larger hearts, I am trying to make sure I get them on a place on the nail where they're not going to be sticking up if I put them in a lamp and put the clear coat on top. I definitely have ways of fixing that with a pin cure lamp, a flash lamp, where you can hold it on closely with the silicone cap and you can get them to kind of fold a little, but I don't feel like doing that. I just want, I don't feel like doing that. I want these hearts to go on, and I don't want to have to do too much, manipulating to get them not to stick out of the nail. And incorporating some of these smaller hearts helps with that, you know? So yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, but I do want to hear if you guys do something fun for Valentine's Day or you have traditions. I'm always down for that. Had a guy fly over on the side here. So let me see. Is that good enough? I guess that is good enough. I think I'm gonna put one more over here. Call it a day. Yeah, let's do that. And with this kind of nail, you kind of want to get those hearts to cover that line, the line in the center, so it's not terribly obvious, you know, that it ends right there. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I put this one in the lamp. And then that one's almost done. I think so. This is kind of an easy thing. The only thing that might be a little bit difficult is if you struggle with French manicures, and everybody does, even people that have been doing nails for a long time struggle with a French manicure. So that might be the hardest part. But I am just using some stickers and sequins just to decorate, so I think we'll be fine with that. All right, so what are we gonna do next? I think what we're gonna do is put a clear coat on these two, a shiny clear coat on those. No. I wanted to try out a tip that I heard from somebody. Somebody said that, you know, if you struggle with French tips, your French manicure tips, that you should remove the inhibition layer, also known as the sticky or tacky part, on the top of nails when on top of gel nails when you cure them, and that helps it to get a little bit let's see, not have the French part slip and slide all over the place. And so I'm gonna give that a shot. I usually just put, a lot of times I put a matte coat. That helps too, but we want to save on product, right? We don't want to have to use something if it's not necessary. So I'm just taking some alcohol and removing the inhibition layer, and then I'll get started on the French on those nails. Before I do that, I'm just going to go in with a thick top coat for this. So let me just mention a couple that you could use for this part. You could use, I have this really, is it here? No, not here. I have the zombie top coat that works really good for me. I don't know where it is right now, but in this case, I'm gonna go in with the Gin Bee Crazy Top Thick Non-Wipe Overlay. This is fantastic for this type of stuff. If you are trying to encapsulate, or if you just really like the thicker top coat, this is fantastic. It is not cheap in this size tub, but they do make it in a regular size, regular polished bottle. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just wipe this one off. This just had some base coat on it, and then I'll get on to applying this top coat on. Just want to point out with your brushes, your gel brushes, or any of your art brushes that you use for nails, when you store them, if you can, try to put some base coat or a little bit of whatever you have that's similar to that. That preserves the life of your brushes. So as you're putting them away and you clean them with alcohol or whatever, go back in and put a little bit of base coat on them. So, or clear, you know, anything clear, so that you can keep the bristles nice and healthy. That's what I do. It works great. I got that tip from somebody else. I didn't come up with it on my own, but I got that tip a long time ago, so I can't remember who told me that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in and do a couple layers and just move that all the way down. I love this stuff. It's so glassy. It makes everything look so like perfectly shiny, and you know, I just love a shiny nail. I'm starting to get into matte nails, but nothing beats a shiny nail to me. And then of course, when you're putting your top coat on like this, make sure you get those sides. You don't want to have little bumps and everything or little spots where you didn't put the product. After this, I'm going to put this upside down, but it's not necessary. It really levels very well on its own. It's just that some of these hearts, I don't want them to be sticking out, you know, of the nail. Am I there? How do I feel about this? I don't know. Okay, let me put this, invert it or put it upside down. What am I trying to do here? Just showing you that I'm putting it upside down for a little bit so that it kind of moves towards the center. And it's looking good. I think I'm gonna let it sit. Oh, I found a little spot that I missed. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit and give it some time to level out. Okay, and then when I feel like it's nice and leveled, I'll put that under the lamp. In the meantime, I can put all my little hearts away and close this guy up. Okay. Next up, we are going to get to these Frenchy fingers. Where's my brush holder? Okay. So I'm going to go in on my palette with a little bit of red. You don't need too much. And I say you don't need too much because all I'm going to do is get the smile lines going on the nail, and then I'll go in with the regular brush on the bottle, from the bottle, and I'll finish up the nail like that. So usually what I do the first thing is I grab, let's start with the pinky, and I'll grab, this is a Madame Glam long fine liner brush, and the length of this is not terribly long. It's perfect for what we're about to do. I grab a little paint, and the first thing I do is go in from the center. So I want to make sure that I get the same, measure it up with the other nail. And I think I'm going to do it a little bit longer. So I'm going to go down the center a little bit more. And then from here, I can go, so some people do the A method, and that's bringing it down here, one here, and then you can make that smile line easier. And I think I need to switch brushes, but also I usually just go like this and put that middle section, bring in that middle section. Now, this one I'm not gonna go crazy on with perfection because there's pearls that are gonna be covering it. I do want it to look great, you know, but I don't have to go crazy like spending a lot of time on it because it's just going to get covered by pearls. And since I already know that, I can go in and be a little bit graceful with myself, not having to be so precise. Okay, and from here, I am going to switch brushes. I'm going to go in with a little bit of longer liner brush. I think I've been liking this one recently. This one's by Tinovo. This is a 20mm liner brush. And from here, oh, see, there's a slip already. I don't think I'm going to go in with this one then. Honestly, I have been really loving this brush that I got from the nail supply store. And it is a 30mm brush, and it just flows so much nicer for me. And so here I am going down the side. I might have to speed you guys through this part because, like I said, I still take a little bit more time than usual to do a French. So yeah, let me just speed you through. So let me just mention this, and I think this might help some people. With a long liner brush like this, I think you get a little more control if you choke up on it. So that means coming a little bit closer to the bottom part right before you touch the bristles versus back here. You're not going to have as much control if you're holding the brush from back here. Hold the brush if you're struggling with Frenchies. I think this might be something that might help you. Get a little closer, choke up on it like that, and you know, I hope, you know, that'll help some of you guys out. All right, so that one's in the lamp. And what else am I doing? Okay, that one's in the lamp. Oh, I do have to take a break. My daughter's coming home any minute. I have to go get her from the bus stop, and then I'll be back. Okay, I am going to attempt to finish this off while my little one is here. She may barge in and want to ask an unnecessary question. And if that's the case, I will just put some music in the background so that she can do her, you know, chit-chatting with me. Basically, what I'm doing next is getting this in the frame first, and I'm gonna go in with my pearls. No, I want to do the bow on this because that's easy to finish off. Let's get that bow on there. Then I'll go in with the pearls, and I think after that we're going to do some stickers so we can get some easy stuff out of the way. Now that I think about it, let me just put some music over this so I can, you know, not be all not be all worried if she's gonna barge in. All right, let's do this. Oh, and a good tip for you guys, if you ever get one of these flower-shaped things, write the word top on it so you know what's right side up. I had 2 different experiences that led me to that. Not so good experiences. Anyway, back to the video.